Hey, good morning. Today is August 20th, 2024. It's the regular meeting of the Kings County Board of Supervisors. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Nevs,
Here.
Richard Valley,
Here.
Doug Verboon,
Here.
Rusty Robinson,
Here.
Richard Fagundes.
All five members are present. At this time, we'll go ahead and do invocation, and we have Scott Howe from Veterans Affairs. Morning, Scott.
I don't know why I brought paper with me. I don't have anything written down. If y'all would stand and please join me in an attitude of prayer. Heavenly Father, Lord, we're just grateful to be here today, Lord. We're humbled and we're grateful. We're humbled that you just love us like you do, Lord. And despite our human foibles and our falterings, you continue to love us. And we're grateful, Lord. We're grateful that we live here in Kings County, that we have fresh air to breathe here. That we have free air to breathe here, Lord, and we're grateful for the freedoms that we have in our country. Grateful for the folks who step up, like the people on the dais this morning, Lord. And so we would pray for them. We would pray for all of our leaders, our country leaders, our state leaders, and those leaders here locally, but especially those on the dais here this morning. Lord, we would pray that you would imbue them and give them insight, Lord, give them courage. And give them the wisdom to make the decisions that are correct for the people of Kings County, Lord. We pray for those who are out within the county doing the boots on the ground work, Lord. And we pray for those who are overseas, Lord, who are deployed in our military. We pray a special prayer for them, that you would bless them, keep them safe, keep them healthy, Lord. And we would pray the same for all of our first responders here, Lord. So just be with us, Lord. Fill us with your spirit. And guide us to do your work today, Lord. In your name we pray. Amen.
Please follow me as we salute our nation's flag. Ready? Salute.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, at this time, we'll go into unscheduled appearances. Do we have anybody that signed up for unscheduled appearances this morning?
I have quite a few. I also have, all the board have received copies of correspondence from Jacob Moretta, Yvette Chaidez Villarreal, Josh Morgan, Martina Avila, and Anna Brookshire. And I was asked to go a little out of order of how we received the cards this morning so we can get our employees back to work. And thank you for saving us with the cameras this morning. The first speaker is Jason Ragosa.
Morning, Jason. Nope.
Morning, Chairman, members of the board. I'm Jim Henderson. I just wanted to make, we have staff making independent statements. Any official statements from Public Works would come from Dominic Tyberski. But I do want to put on record that Dominic Tyberski and myself do support staff during their negotiations, and so just kind of wanted to make that clear.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Jason, good morning. How are you doing today?
Good morning, board. My name is Jason Ragosa. I'm one of the 2 janitor supervisors for the Public Works Department. I have been an employee of Kings County for 28 years. 1996 to 2001, I was with Public Works. 2001 to 2022, I was with the Human Services Agency. And 2022 to present, back with Public Works. So longevity pay, I'm ready. During COVID, I was an essential worker stationed at Project Room Key at the Holiday Lodge. I supervised job training office participants and was in charge of picking up meals, preparation of meals for distribution of meals, including collection of laundry for laundry service pickup twice a week. Cleaning some of the rooms as people were exited from that particular program, working in less desirable conditions. We are all in need of a increase in salary due to county insurance premiums increase of 13%. In addition of cost of living, food, fuel, energy cost increases. There is also a small monetary difference separating the janitor supervisor from the senior janitor position. Considering the amount of staff under our supervision and maintaining janitorial services for all county buildings, inclusive to those in outlying cities, including daily scheduling, payroll, evaluations, safety meetings, and training. Our janitorial services are doing a good job maintaining our buildings, but our department is understaffed and currently down 5 janitorial positions, which increases additional work for our current staff. Often the supervisors are having to step in and take on buildings due to the staffing shortages. Janitorial had an increase outside cleaning responsibilities to include emptying outdoor trash, blowing off sidewalk entrances to the building, and cleaning up after unhoused persons left items unattended, which can include hazardous materials. I want to retain staff and allow for competitive recruitment of staff in these positions. With a large discrepancy in pay for other agency, it's difficult to maintain good employees and recruit new ones if they are to be better compensated elsewhere with less responsibility or requirements for the position. I'd like to thank you for your time.
Thank you, Jason.
The next speaker is Rebecca Draisel.
Morning, Rebecca.
Good morning, Board of Supervisors. I'd like to start off by thanking you for allowing me to stand up here and speak. My name's Rebecca Draisel. I've been with Kings County for 3.5 years as a janitor. I would like to explain some of the reasons why we're asking for a wage increase. In the past 12 months, the consumer price index has risen 2.9% in Kings County. Food has risen 2.2%. Energy 1.1%. Overall items less than food and energy has risen 3.2%. My work insurance has raised $786 more a year than it was last year. During COVID, majority of your employees were allowed to do remote work. Public works, roads, building maintenance did not have that option. We were here every morning, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 1:30. Some of us even worked on weekends to make sure that you guys were able to come back in on Monday to a clean, safe environment. Avenal Fire Department had a COVID outbreak during COVID. Our building went out there and had them reopened within 2 hours on a Saturday. Some of the things that I think maybe you guys don't realize that we come in contact with as being a janitor is lice, vomit, feces, bloodborne pathogens, scabies, MRSA, and COVID. During my speech, I believe I haven't used the word I, it's been us and we. I'm asking for the increase to at least match the inflation for Kings County right now, which is over 3%. And I'd like to thank you guys for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Manny Banuelos.
Good morning.
Good morning, good people at board. My name is Manny Banuelos. I've been working with Public Works Central Plant for about 2 years now. We know change is going to happen. However, it should be progressive. The proposed change for Central Plant Public Operations Specialist is contradicting to that. Building operations specialists are responsible for an array of essential functions and techno machinery. Some responsibilities include ensuring proper heating and ventilation to all county buildings, including jail, juvenile center, the morgue, which requires 24 hours operation. We are also responsible for fire systems that sustains fire sprinklers, alarms, and risers. Also, the main power grid of the county that supplies electricity to all county buildings and backup generators require the generators required the events of a power outage also falls under our scope. All of these services are essential services, required us to be here 24 hours, standby, which were dispatched or directed to contact us in an event of emergency. We are kind of considered the first responders of Kings County buildings and jails and buildings around. The salary studies, in our opinion, is not valid. It did not compare our jobs responsibilities to other counties. The county uses the studies. The county that were used in the studies do not have 24-hour standby requirements, do not deal with fire sprinklers or fire systems and high voltages. Their main requirements follow a small scope of heating and ventilation only. However, that seems to be ignored. The desired recommendation proposed is that our title from building operations specialist to building technicians, lowering the requirements of education and experience for the job, that is consistently increasing the level of training and technique. Our job is highly technical. A quick example is that the system we use to provide cooling to all county buildings is unique, as it operates with water creating blocks of ice for an efficient system versus the mainstream system sustained by refrigerant. Only used in other commercial buildings within the county. In terms of earning, we are also being overlooked and overlooked and raised is not being considered. Again, we are responsible for the care of all buildings and being deployed at all hours of day and night. A recent example is the public health lab fire, where our on-call guy were dispatched at 2 a.m. and remained the entire time assisting with fire department with locating gas, electrical, fire risers, and other building safeties for secure and successful operation. Within our county alone, the Hanford Elementary School HVAC technicians are making more than we are with less responsibilities. Even though we were compared to the comp and salary studies are far less of similar composition than the classification I just presented you. Interestingly enough, our county recently publicly reported the highest property tax increase in years, which is $35 million in Kings County. However, those of us responsible to maintain county operation needs are not being considered and proper compensation based on what we actually do versus what other county employees and someone foreign understanding of our job. Our plea is that we are unfairly evaluated, that our job title along with the requirements do not change negatively, and that we consider the proper compensation based on our responsibilities and requirements. If you would like a deeper understanding of our responsibilities, please take an invitation to our central plant location, where we can give you a better overview of systems and programs. Thank you.
Thank you, Manny.
The next speaker is Jacob Marita.
Morning, Jacob. Try to keep it closer to 2 minutes if we could. Is everybody going to speak today from your department?
No, it should be the last one from.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Yep. Good morning, Chairman and Board, members of the board. I am Jacob Moretta, and I'm here representing myself and my coworkers. I'm here today because we were informed that there's been talk about changing our job title from Senior Building Maintenance Worker to Building Maintenance Worker 2. We currently disagree with this change and would like to keep our current title as Senior Building Maintenance Worker. As a Senior Building Maintenance Worker, it is our job to take care of all county buildings that include everything that takes place in, outside, and even around the county buildings, such as striping, parking lots, roads, patches, and stuff like that. I believe this change has been proposed based on the findings of the Coffin Associates, which I'll refer to as K&A study conducted for the county. The reason that we believe this change should not be considered is due to discrepancies that were found in the study conducted by K&A. After reviewing the K&A study, using my master's degree in public administration, I have found these discrepancies. First, the job title that K&A used was Building Maintenance Worker 2, parentheses, SMBW. So on the first sheet of the form that you guys received, in the upper left corner, you can see that that's the job title that they used for us. Because of this, they compared our job title as a senior building maintenance worker to only building maintenance worker 2 positions within the other counties and cities during this study. Because of this discrepancy, I have taken the time to conduct a study showing the current wages for jobs for the same counties and cities that K&A used in their study that match our job title and description, which is page 2 of that form. I've also included the monthly salaries at the top step, which is what matches the K&A study. Kings County, in comparison to all other cities and counties with the similar job title and description, lists us at the bottom of the list with 14% below average pay and a 18% below average median pay. Given the information above, it has also been drawn to our attention after verbal conversations with other maintenance employees that we are underpaid in areas such as standby pay, where we receive $2 per hour, where other maintenance employees get somewhere between $2.50 to $3. Minimum overtime on callouts, we get a minimum of 2 hours, where other standard industry standards are 3 hours. Uniform allowance is currently at $221 per year. For our shirts, patches, and embroidery alone for 5 shirts for a year is almost double that. And we also do not receive a boot allowance as other maintenance workers do. Lastly, I would like for the board to consider the longevity pay. I know it has been a point of this board to find ways to help retain employees. This is one way that the board would be able to help reward the senior building maintenance workers who show their dedication to the county. In closing, I would like to thank the board for all the hard work and dedication that you have put forward to preserving this county and the citizens who live within. As someone who has been trying to buy a house in this county for almost a year and not being able to do so due to inflation prices and due to not being able to secure a loan because my pay, I greatly appreciate the opportunity to present my findings to you, this board, and look forward to hearing what can be done to preserve the senior building maintenance workers of Kings County. If you have any questions, I will be glad to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you, Jacob. Appreciate it.
The next speaker is Ronnie Wong.
Ronnie, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and the board members. My question is related to your scheduling next Monday for the final budget hearing. Is that anticipated then next Tuesday during your regular meeting to actually adopt your final budget?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I can answer that question. So next week is the budget hearings presentation. Then the board will take a temporary due pass and a final resolution will come to your board in September for
In
adoption.
September. Okay, thank you.
We just allow Monday in case it goes over to Tuesday.
Okay.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Micah Kuiper.
Morning, Micah.
Good morning. I'm Micah Kuiper, live on 6th and Houston. Had dinner with a employee that works for Dragon Flatiron 2 weeks ago, and he informed me that they will be closing, or Hanford Armona's already closed, and that they're going to be closing Houston as well and not have a bypass road. I run milk trucks and commodity trucks for a dairy east of there, and it's yeah, it's a big hazard, safety hazard. for us to have to go around down to Idaho or use Sixth Avenue, because that'll make us make a left-hand turn on Sixth and Highway 198, which is, there's been a lot of fatalities in that intersection. I got with my neighbors to see if they were aware that they were closing both bridges, and they were not aware of it. And so we kind of rallied the troops here and just seeing if the county can do anything for our well-being, our safety, to have a bypass road or not have them close Houston until they finish Hanford Armona. So I was talked to Rusty on what's the process. He directed me to Dominic, the Public Works Director. I've called him a couple times. The last conversation I had with him, he said there's nothing I can do, and that I would have to come here and talk to you guys today and present if there's any way we can slow this down, get a bypass road, or get them to not close Houston until Hanford Armona is done.
Yeah, thank you. We'll look into it.
The next speaker is John Fragoso.
Mr. Fregoso.
Morning, boys.
Morning.
We've talked about this a few times, Richard, Booney, same thing Micah just said. You guys cannot close Houston without Hanford Road being open. It's a death trap on the 198, Hanford Armona and the 43. That's one of the biggest concerns. There's no reason why that train ain't gonna run tomorrow. There's no reason why that road can't be done so people can get around. Boone, we've talked about it before, Richard. Second thing is that bridge on Houston, boys. You guys have told me before, it's a federal deal, whatever. They spend more money on a bypass than would be to fix that bridge. Why can't we fix it and then get reimbursed later? The trucks that Micah runs and the trucks that we run on the other side of that road, it's 16 to 18 miles a day per truck to get around. Fuel, men, everything. Overtime, coming back. We need some help there, guys. I've asked you guys before. Rusty, I wish Dad was around. He'd probably help us out a little bit, maybe, huh? But we need some help there, boys. Don't let them shut that road down without a bypass. Because it's going to be, people are going to get killed on 198 and 6th Avenue. Tomorrow, whenever, any morning you guys want, except for Saturday or Sunday, you guys go out there and sit on 6th and the 198 and watch that circus right there. I've seen 2 people get killed there myself. So just be aware of that, boys. Please help us on this thing. Okay? Promise, Rich? Promise, Rich? Thank you.
Promise nobody's gonna get killed because they drive you crazy.
One thing about the difference between the county and our Houston Avenue Bridge is Governor Brown allowed high-speed rail to have CEQA exemption, so they don't have to follow the rules if they want. So makes it really difficult. It doesn't put us on a level playing field too. So makes it tough to compete with them. But we are talking to them. We try to get them to get Hanford Armona finished before they shut down Houston.
Me and Michael talked to Joe. If we got to, we'll call some of these news channels out 26 and show them the death trap they're creating. Bernie.
Yep.
It's crazy. It's ridiculous.
Okay. I need to change my name on the wall over here to Booney. Oh, thank you.
The next speaker is Joe Cezino.
Morning, Joe.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, board. My name is Joe Cezino. I have the dairy on 7th in Houston there, Cezino Dairy 5. And currently, right now, they are doing all kinds of work there on Houston, as you guys know, between 7th and 198, or 7th and Highway 43. So one of my biggest concerns is my employees. A lot of them live in the city limits. As you know, they're Hispanics. They don't have the best of cars. They're scared to drive down the road. God knows how many have driver's license or not, but that's not our problem, right? So a lot of them travel down Houston, and it's real convenient because there's a stoplight on Houston and 43 to get to my farm. Okay. I'm wondering what's going to happen when they shut down Houston and Hanford Armona's out. These guys, I mean, it's going to be hard to get them to drive down 43. Not saying it can't be done. The other thing is, if you guys would allow them not to shut down Houston until Hanford Armona is done, it would be nice if they could put like a temporary 4-way stop sign where everybody would have to stop there. I know it'd be an inconvenience, but I'm worried about the safety. The other issue is people that come, you know, milk trucks, delivery feed trucks. Pretty soon we're going to be chopping corn. I mean, we're going to be taking some serious detours. There's not a lot of good options to get to my farm for not only employees, but for normal services that need to be done, like milk pickup and feed deliveries and that sort of thing. The other thing is 7th Avenue between, I think it's Idaho and Hamfer-Amona is completely getting destroyed. I mean, these guys, you guys should go out there one morning during the week. I mean, they are blowing through that stop sign on 7th in Houston. I don't know if the county just gonna get rid of those stop signs and just make it free for all for everybody, because there's been 2 accidents there. One of them is a gentleman that hauls feed for us. His guy's out. He's trying to get a hold of, what's the name of that outfit that hauling the dirt, the contractor?
Dragato Flatiron or
It's not Flatiron, GJ. So he's having
Heavy
a,
Haul, yeah.
I mean, those guys, they don't stop. I mean, you guys should see what they're doing out there. It's unbelievable. I mean, don't believe me. Please go out there during the week and just see for yourself. Safety is the number one thing, you know. We have a lot of employees. We got a dairy to run, and they're just making it, you know, they're just putting roadblocks everywhere. And I'm afraid that if, you know, if you guys can't get Houston, Hanford-Ramona done before Houston gets shut down, then where are we going to go? I mean, 6th and 198 is not a good option, in my opinion. Idaho's completely torn apart, which is it Idaho, the one just south of Houston? Iona, thank you. So Iona is completely tore apart. So what they did is apparently they got somebody from the state, they were waiting on it. They allowed them to shut down Iona for the time being. So all they ended up doing was just pulling an extra set of trailers. Instead of hauling 100,000 pounds of dirt, we're going to haul 200 now. So they destroyed that road. My understanding is there's not going to be a bridge over Idaho or Iona. Is that correct? I don't know.
I don't think so.
They're going to shut that road down. Well, it's pretty much shut down now because it's destroyed, which is fine. But what's going to be my options for my employees? You know, I'm worried more about the employees and people that have to deliver and pick up stuff from my farm. And the silage trucks are going to get detoured this year too. Those guys charge by the mile, by the mile. I mean, it's just the cost of doing business over there used to be favorable because I'm right outside of town, and I bought that location because of convenience and where it was at and location. And now all this stuff's getting taken away. So I would just, you know, just wanted to present that, my concerns to the board and see what you guys could do. And please take consideration in coming up with a viable resolution that's going to, you know, number one, promote safety, not only for myself, but my employees and other people that have to come into my farm. Cause I mean, we're a dairy. We get 4 milk pickups a day. We get about 40 loads of grain a month. So if you divide that over a 6-day period, that's how many trucks are going in and out of that farm every day. You know, dairies have a lot of stuff. I mean, we get pharmaceuticals, we get chemicals, we get all kinds of stuff, supplies every week, every month. And it's making it real inconvenient, you know. So if the board could consider all this and please come up with some kind of resolution, and the bridge on Houston's not helping out too. Because a lot of my stuff comes from Tulare, especially the milk pickup. You know, we ship to Land O'Lakes. So now they're having to take detours. So everything's just getting slowed down around there. And what I thought was a good location that I purchased 7 years ago is turning out to be dead ends everywhere. So anyway, thank you for allowing me to speak what I needed to speak about, and hope you guys take some consideration in all this and see if we come up with a viable resolution for the time being.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Claire Fidiasi.
Morning, Claire.
Good morning, Board. I'm Claire Fidiasi. I'm the Public Health Program Director at Valley Voices, and I'm commenting today about the proposed wood processing plant in Stratford. As many of you know, the Valley Voices team does food distribution every month in Stratford, as well as participating in multiple special events there. So we have our team out there. We've been doing food distribution for almost a year now. We have some great community volunteers, one of whom was a high school student that we ended up bringing onto our team to give him an opportunity to be employed and to get paid for the work that he's doing. Brian has been a great asset to our team. He just graduated from high school, but he lives in Stratford. His parents both work. They're both Spanish speakers. They're unable to attend this meeting. So on behalf of Brian's parents and the parents of so many children that live in Stratford, we would request that you would reconsider having a environmental study for the proposed wood processing plant in Stratford that would be near the elementary school there. Mr. Howell in his invocation referenced the fresh air that we have. And I am thankful for the air that we have, but sometimes it's not so fresh. And if we put a wood processing plant next to the elementary school, that air is not going to be as fresh as it could be. The citizens of Stratford tend to have less access to medical resources as far as doctor's appointments, not only for the ability to get to an appointment, whether it's in Hanford or another location. So putting them in a position where their health could be at risk due to particulate matter in the air is very much a concern. And we hope that you would reconsider having an environmental study for that proposed project.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Red Vidiasi.
Good morning.
My name is Red Fidiasi, and I'm also here to talk about the wood drying plant that is proposed to be in Stratford. There was a notice given to the citizens, but it did not mention Palm Wonderful and the plans for the plant, just that the county was rezoning the lot. The project also hasn't been subject to CEQA assessment, and the residents are concerned about the environmental and health effects to the community. The plant is supposed to be right next to the school and residential areas. Personally, I wouldn't want to go to school there or send my kids there. I don't know about you. I also wouldn't want to be one of the kids that practice soccer after school in that yard area. The residents of Stratford would also like to have a public hearing with the Board of Supervisors to talk about this plot. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Kelly Defterius. I apologize if that's not correct.
Good morning, Kelly.
Morning. Hi, my name is Kelly Defteris. I'm a farmer. I live right across the street from Joe. That's where my homestead is, as well as about 270 acres and a half-mile by mile block. So I really feel like I'm in the epicenter of the high-speed rail Houston drama, if you will. Change is hard. We know this. Sometimes change is good, sometimes change is bad. But when you have so much change at one time, it's crippling. And I really feel that's where we're at. We saw it with, COVID and businesses shutting down. We saw it with dairies. I really feel like we're seeing it with farming now. With water regulation and fees on the forefront, with bridge off the Houston not made a priority, and now HSR getting full power to do as they please in our area in regards to a timeline and transportation of dirt. It's not just a hardship for my home, but it's a crippling effect on my profit margins as a farmer. So I'm just going to take each of these by section. The bridge that was discussed earlier, that's this past year, the dairyman that I sell to lives on the other side of that bridge. So it's costing me $5 to $7 a ton, which is making already my profit margins on wheat was already low because the commodity basically is tanked. So that basically ate up my profits. So we're going to see the same thing with corn. Corn is doing a little bit better, but I mean, it's just, you're scraping by already. And when you put these problems on top of it, it doesn't help. Also, my pistachios goes to Nichols. So I'm going to be added. Fees are going to be for delivery is going to be taken out of that. And then lucky me, my cotton gin is sitting over there on second. So now I'm going to get additional module charges on top of that. So at every single forefront, it's tough. So then you got high-speed rail coming in off 7th Avenue, the transportation of dirt from that reservoir. The road is not designed for that much traffic. If you've gone out there, it's not designed to have those trucks on there, and it certainly isn't designed to handle the traffic that's going to be happening when you shut down Hanford Armona. It's just not. It scares me to death to send my son that just got his license last year this winter in the fog. Either he's going to have to go down 7th down this poorly maintained road or have to sit into the death trap of 6th Avenue and 198. It's just not a whole lot of options out there. Also, the hay going to coincidentally, the alfalfa I sell goes to the dairy on the other side of that reservoir. And so now when the hay retrievers come, they have to go all the way to Fregoso. So they have to somehow find a way all the way to Idaho, come back 43, weigh it, and then they actually pass the dairy on the way and then go back. So again, added charges to me. And then we got the shutting down of Houston. In addition to that, the ability of first responders to get people to our residing area. I don't know how familiar you are with that area, but there's a lot of houses in residential neighborhood. There's a lot of older people out there. And it's just not safe. We need to be able to get first responders out there when needed and quickly. And right now, it's just not set up to do that if you shut down Hanford Armona. So in closing, I just want to urge the board to represent us in three things. I need them to prioritize that Houston bridge. I need to push the dirt haulers. I don't know why, but they were going down the high-speed rail line when they were delivering the dirt. And now they came back to 7th Avenue again. And then I saw them going down 43 on my way here to return. And it's like, you just can't get out of there. It's just you're stuck on every front. So I need those people to go back to high-speed rail to transport the dirt from that reservoir to where they need it to be. And then also not to close Houston and Hanford Armona. I'm sorry, not to close Houston until Hanford Armona is completed. Change is hard, but at what point is it simply too much? It's one thing for HSR to take the property. It's quite another to render the rest of the ground unprofitable because it doesn't fit their timeline. Thank you.
No, thank you very much. I know with staff, we should probably reach out to High Speed Rail. I've tried with Dragados Flatiron for several months to try to have a meeting with them as pertaining to the our ag permits, but I'm not getting a response. So let's maybe have council write them letters, have them come in here, make a presentation on how they're affecting our community, because we're not getting anywhere. So thank you. I call Mario's the one that they're told they're not even talking to Mario either. But we got to talk to the contractor, which is Dragados Flatiron. There's a lot of issues happening right now with the Dragados Flatiron staff. We haven't discussed this problem yet because we can't talk to anybody.
Tom Richards?
He's the next call, yeah. Yeah. But we'll do it for the council. Okay, next speaker.
Bob Ramos.
Morning, Bob.
Good morning. My name is Bob Ramos, and I want to address voter integrity here in Kings County. On Monday, August 12th, last week, we delivered some data to our county registrar, Mr. Villa, and he was very gracious in receiving this information from us. This data was obtained by Patriot of California, Patriot Force of California, and they worked off the national change of address site regarding people that have dual registration issues. This report highlights findings regarding voter registration discrepancy and provides an analysis of the data gathered. This information was gathered by about 10 citizens here in Kings County in April and May of this year. We visited about 159 identified dual registered voters that are registered in other states and receive ballots here in our county. And we talked to the person that answered the door and verified that this person that's identified either did live there or did not live there, and they did not. And some of these had been gone a long time. So this data is being provided to the county to help the county and the national change of address to find a answer to clear up this problem so that we don't have this issue. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Anna Brookshire.
Morning, Anna.
Hello, thank you. Thank you, Board of Supervisors, for taking time to listen. So I'm just going to add a little bit more. As Bob mentioned, we've already provided this information to Lupe Villa, the Registrar of Voters. And so what I've handed to you is a copy of that report. We partnered with Patriot Force California, and they provided the voter information for us to canvass. But the report that you see is statewide numbers, but then on the cover letter that was attached to that report, you'll see Kings County numbers. And so we canvassed Kings County and we have that information available. And we did speak to Lupe Villa, and he did, this is a busy time for him, so he did say he was going to meet with us later to go over that data, but he has been provided the data. And we just wanted to let you know that we want to work with the county to, of course, for voter integrity, as everyone's aware of, and we want to be able to make sure that that the voter rolls are in correct, and that as Mr. Villa mentioned, that we want to save as much money as possible, and not send out ballots to voters that aren't there, and just to mention some of the numbers, but for Kings County. And this was mainly voters that have submitted change of addresses to out-of-state residents. So what the data will show that there were voters that have submitted a change of address but are still active on our voter rolls. And the data was data collected from December 7th of 2023. So some of those may have been cleaned up and inactivated since then, but we want to make sure that all that need to be removed from the voter rolls are removed from the voter rolls. And so the report that you have in your hands is that report, again, statewide report, but I included the Kings County numbers. And so if there's any questions that you have, we're available, and we are looking forward to meeting with Lupe Villa, and then trying to do what we can to help work with you to get the voter rolls cleaned up. Okay, thank you.
The next speaker is Rachel Majurian.
Rachel, good morning. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Where's the other Rachel?
I think she's at the office today. I was just doing a little introduction. My name's Rachel Majurian. I'm currently an intern at Congressman David Valdeo's office, at the district office in Hanford. I'm a junior at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, and I'm majoring in ag communications, and I have a minor in dairy science.
Welcome. Nice to meet you.
That's all the speaker cards that I have. It doesn't appear anyone online has their hand raised.
Okay. Anybody in the audience like to add to our program? Nobody? Okay. We'll move on to the next item, and we'll move on to approval of the minutes. Report out of closed session from the regular meeting, August 15th, 2024.
There's nothing to report.
Thank you. Item B, approval of the minutes from regular meetings, August 13th, 2024. Moved by Supervisor Robinson, second by Supervisor Fagundes. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Nevs.
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Okay, 5 in favor. Next item's consent calendar. We only have 2 items. Which pleasure.
So move, Mr. Chair.
Moved by Supervisor Neves, second by Supervisor Robinson. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Nevs.
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson.
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Okay, 5 in favor. Thank you. Next item would be regular agenda item, regular calendar, and it'd be a Public Health Department. Good morning. How we doing today?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Everardo Legaspi with Public Health. With me today is Thomas Brand, our Nutrition Services Manager, who's going to introduce the item regarding National Breastfeeding Month.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning.
Morning.
Nice to see you all again. So my name's Thomas Brand. I'm the Nutrition Services Manager and the WIC Director. And today I'd like to pass it on over to our Breastfeeding Coordinator, Claudia Casares, to introduce and promote our breastfeeding proclamation for August 2024, National Breastfeeding Month. Claudia.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Chair and members of the board. My name is Claudia Casares, and I am the breastfeeding coordinator for the Kings County WIC program. I also hold this year, I'm the chair for the Kings County Breastfeeding Coalition. And today I'm here in the matter of proclaiming the month of August 2024 as National Breastfeeding Month. Whereas the month of August has been deemed National Breastfeeding Month, and whereas breastfeeding benefits both mothers and infants and is proven foundational strategy for lifelong health and wellness. Whereas major medical authorities, including the American Academy of Pediatrics and World Health Organizations, recommend exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months of life, with continued breastfeeding while introducing complementary foods for 2 years or as long as mutually desired by the mother and child. And whereas in 2011, the United States Surgeon General issued a call to action to support breastfeeding, which identifies barriers to optimal breastfeeding in various areas such as healthcare practices, employment accommodations, cultural beliefs, lack of research, public health, and and recommendations on how families, communities, employers, and healthcare professionals can work together to eliminate these barriers, improve breastfeeding rates, and increase support for breastfeeding. Whereas the County of Kings further recognizes the unique health economic benefits that breastfeeding provides to mothers, children's families, and the community as a whole, and encourages all stakeholders to work together to support breastfeeding and ensure that barriers to initiation and continuation of breastfeeding be removed. And whereas the Kings County Department of Public Health commends the parental health and breastfeeding advocates throughout our county working to build individual, family, and community support for breastfeeding, and joins in celebrating and promoting awareness of the benefits of breastfeeding for all babies and parents now and in the future. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Board of Supervisors of the County of Kings, State of California, and the month of August 2024 be recognized as the National Breastfeeding Month in Kings County, and urges all citizens to observe this month by acknowledging the importance of breastfeeding. Thank you.
Thank you, Claudia. Any questions from the board?
So move, Mr. Chair.
Moved by Supervisor Nev, second by Supervisor Fagundes. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley,
Aye.
Doug Verboon,
Yes.
Rusty Robinson,
Yes.
Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
5 in favor. We have proclaimed the month of August as National Breastfeeding Month in Kings County.
Thank you. Would I be able to introduce our regional breastfeeding liaison
Yes,
for
you may.
WIC? She covers Kings County, and her name is Carmen, and she has a few words for us.
Hi, Carmen.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. So my name's Carmen Escobar. I'm the Regional Breastfeeding Liaison. For short, I just say RBL because it's a long title. But I am one of 36 RBLs in California, and we provide the counties, various counties, not everyone has one. But I provide support to the WIC program by working to bridge the health gaps in our communities. This I do by promoting the benefits of WIC and to help increase the health of our families. I also support the WIC program by building relationships with healthcare providers, offer presentations, trainings, represent WIC at various local organizations and Department of Public Health programs. I collaborate with local programs and organizations. I give tech support to our local hospital, their birthing center, and I also connect with healthcare providers to the WIC program. And so from California RBL program, I thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on now to the next item, which is item B, Public Works Department. And Mitchell? Oh, Jim Hanson.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Morning, Chairman, member of the board, Jim Henderson, Public Works Building Maintenance Superintendent. I bring before your board today the recommendation to approve the agreement with NG Services for the operations and maintenance of the solar and electrical facilities, effective from September 1st, 2023 through August 31st, 2028. And on September 27, 2011, the board passed resolution number 11057, entering into energy services contract and related maintenance agreement with Chevron Energy Solutions, now in NG Services. So this is the solar that was put in previously before this last solar project. So this is the solar that is just east of the government center and at the Hanford Library. And this will be to maintain it. They'll be able to see if we're not performing at its capacity, they'll be able to identify that for us and provide services. So our last maintenance service was in September of last year. And so our next one will be coming up September of this year for our annual maintenance on that. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer that.
Thank you, Jim. Any questions or comments? Moved by Supervisor Fagundes, second by Supervisor Robinson. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Nevs,
Yes.
Richard Valley,
Aye.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson. Richard Fagundes.
Yes.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on now to item B, administration. And looks like we have Tomas. Good morning, Tomas.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. Tomas Barajas, Administrative Analyst with Kings County Administration. I'm here to request the approval for the rescission agreement with Kings Community Action Organization for the pass-through funding. On February 28, 2023, administration brought 2 projects to your board for submission for federal and state roadmark funding. One of those projects was proposed by Human Service Agency in conjunction with Kings Community Action Organization, also known as KCAO, for a food bank, centralized kitchen, emergency shelter, and housing navigation center. The earmark for this project was submitted for $2 million. The county received notice from the California State Department of Social Service that the county had been approved for $1 million in the earmark funding for this KCAO food bank and housing project. The project aims to address community needs in food security and homelessness throughout the development of a multi-service campus providing emergency shelter, a food bank, and housing service. The funding was approved through the California Assembly Bill 102 Budget Act of 2023. Traditionally, the state budget allocations are designated for a nonprofit agency. The California Department of Finance will officially distribute these funds through a local government entity such as a city, county, or school district. The county was designated initially as the local government pass-through, which is why the county entered into a pass-through agreement with KCO on January 30, 2024, for the $1 million awarded in earmark funding. However, the funds were sent directly to KCO, deeming this initial pass-through agreement unnecessary. With that said, the recommendation before your board this morning is to approve the rescission agreement with KCO, releasing the county from any obligation to provide KCO $1 million in funding for the food bank and housing project. That concludes my presentation. I am happy to answer any questions if you may have one.
Thank you, Tomas. Any question or comment?
Yeah, Mr. Chair. Good morning, Mr. Chair. Anyone from KCAO here this morning? No? Okay. Well, Mr. Chair, my only comment would be that I understand why we're rescinding this agreement with the money going directly to KCO instead of the check coming to the county. But what I was comfortable with the agreement is the accountability and the transparency that comes with that money, meaning you know, I made those comments when Jeff Garner was here, when we had this agreement. I think the board should be aware of how the money is spent down, simply for the reason that KCAO asked the county for money for this project. And I anticipate they'll probably be back in the future asking for money for this project. So to rescind it is a formal step we got to take, but I don't think that it's should be labeled as the agreement being unnecessary. I think that there should be something between KCL and the county, if not today, but in the future, that if they're going to come ask for money in the future for this project, then the county should have the right and the ability to see how not only this $1 million is being spent down, but any other monies they received before they come asking us for more money here. That would be my comment. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Moved by Supervisor Fagundes, second by Supervisor Nevs. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Joe Nevs.
Yes.
Richard Valley.
Aye.
Doug Verboon.
Yes.
Rusty Robinson. Richard Fagundes.
Okay, 5 in favor.
Yes.
Let's work on the communication, make sure Jeff understands where we stand. We want to know what he's spending on at all times, because we're the ones in the public getting criticized. So I think he knows where we're coming from.
Yeah.
All right. Move on now to board member comments, announcements, and reports. Supervisor Robinson.
Last Thursday, I attended the Airborne, also known as San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District. We accepted another $1.2 million for heavy-duty diesel truck replacements. That should take care of about 5 more trucks. We continued funding our AB 617 communities. There's a selection of about 4 of them, and we kind of use them as case studies. So in this case, Another $500,000 is going to go to bike lanes and so forth. This happens to be in Stockton, but they use that information in order to figure out what's working and what's not working for the rest of the valley. Also, we were updated on wildfires, including the Park Fire, which has now become like the fourth largest fire in California history. And thankfully, most of the smoke, though, is not blowing our direction at this point. That can change at any time. Friday, I met with the Kings County Library Director, Vicky Cervantes, for a library tour, but most importantly, Cooling Aid Center.
You take your book back.
Yeah, we're always, for some reason, we have a problem doing that. But yeah, I think I'm all up to date now. But what we're looking at, and this is linked to the air board, is a cooling area. When we looked at the map, I think Avenel's done a good job with that. Mayor Preciado's, I think, maybe has 4 of them, but we don't have any in the rest of the communities. And so the air board's looking at giving them one for free. And so it's a unit, I believe it's about a $5,000 unit, but it's a purification system that ties in with the cooling centers. So verbally, she's in agreement, and we'll maybe start with Hanford, but I'm also asking if she'll do some of the other communities as well. And then Monday, attended the homeless collaborative meeting. KCAO is still working on their big project, which is now a $19 million project. We're about $500,000 short. So he's looking at various funding, including grants from EPA, local donors, etc. He's still looking at a mid-2026 completion. And Sunrise is still waiting for a switchgear. And Triangle, still hopeful, is going to be occupied this summer. 1 ADA units on site, and I think another one's going to be there next week. But they still need some sidewalks. They still need some furniture. There's a few things they're working on. Thank you.
Summer's over in 2 weeks.
I know it. I know it. And
Didn't say what year.
exactly. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Robinson. Supervisor Valley.
Yeah, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, a couple of weeks ago, we had,
What's your birthday?
no, you guys gave me a card.
Oh.
Thank you. And I got to get the rooster.
Still
for
celebrating though, right?
No, not really. Yeah, Mr. Chair, I just want to note this. I'm not going to go too heavy on it, but a couple of weeks ago we had the water meeting, and I made some comments in regards to, I believe, the formality that should be expected when we're here in the chambers of the Board of Supervisors, and I just think that we need to make sure that happens. That whether as a chair or any one of us who speak up, but when we're in here and this meeting starts, I take this place very seriously. I take the seats that we hold very seriously, and I don't like the informality of people coming to the podium and addressing us as boys or booty or first name. The meeting gets started. It's supervisor, it's Mr. Chairman. We address each other like that up here. And I don't like it because to me, it comes across as a lack of respect. And unfortunately, a lack of respect did rear its ugly face when I got to sit here and hear a speaker come up and insult my Hispanic race and put an insult that basically Hispanics don't have driver's license. I don't appreciate sitting here like that. I come here in good mood. I come here to handle county business. And as I said, if we don't have that formality, it just leads to something ugly down the road. And I just appreciate if we kind of stay on top of that a little bit. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Much for goodness.
No, the only thing I do, I'd like to thank Chief Flores for the information that he keeps giving us about the fires and accidents and what's going on here, because it makes me feel informed of what's going on for my constituents. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, very good. I mean, that's important. I mean, you guys are pretty busy.
Yeah.
We were unaware of a lot of that stuff. I know Joe's aware of it because he's on a scanner, but yeah, you guys stay busy all the time. There's a lot of crazy drivers out there. Supervisor Neves.
All over the county, there's crazy drivers. Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Kings Federal Credit Union Supervisor meeting was held on August 13th, last Tuesday. Reviewed the audit and the quarterly reports, and the credit union's doing extremely well. The South Fork Kings held its monthly meeting on the 15th. Mike Newton was elected treasurer. that rounded out the officer team for the 2024-25 fiscal year. The board also heard from the Growers Advisory Committee, as well as the contract manager and the engineer for the GSA. So we were all caught up on that. On the 16th, Meet the Chancellor event was at Lemoore College. Dr. Robert Pimentel was raised in Huron, attended Kalinga High School, attended Lemoore College, and now has come back as chancellor. The Lemoore College volleyball season also began on the 16th with the Golden Eagles traveling to Skyline College in San Bruno on the 23rd, and the first home game will be on Thursday, August 29th against Santa Rosa. And then I do want to thank Supervisor Robinson for attending the homeless meeting on Monday. I was homeless myself, so thank you very much for sitting in. I know that's not an easy committee assignment, but I certainly appreciate your attendance. So with that, thank you, Mr.
Thank you. At this time, we'll go to Board of Correspondence.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, the board received a June 2024 Treasury report of cash investment together with the monthly fund balance report dated June 2024 from our Director of Finance. The board received a Kings County Operational Area Report for the week of August 12th from the Fire Department on August 16th. For upcoming events, Behavioral Health will host its Family Member Support Group tonight, August 20th from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Kings Building located here on our campus. Behavioral Health will host its Veteran Support Group next Tuesday, August 27th, 5:30 to 7:30 at the Veterans Memorial Hall here in Hanford. And the Kings County Department of Public Health will host another employee blood drive on September 5th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. here on campus. Events open to the employees and also open to the public. Kings County Commission on Aging will host its senior day on Friday, September 20th at Burrs Park, and there will be breakfast burritos and box lunches from KFC. For upcoming events, administration will bring the fiscal year 24-25 budget hearings to the board Monday, August 26th at 9 a.m. And then additionally, there will be a board meeting following on Tuesday on August 27th. Administration has 5 items: the budget book photo contest winner presentation, Senate Bill 81, Juvenile Hall facility sublease, PG&E rate presentation, charging and fuel infrastructure discretionary grant program, and some defense of the accused contracts. Behavioral Health has 3 items: some agreement change in a business name, resolution proclaiming September as Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, and agreement with managed care plans, memoranda of understanding. CDA has an item regarding the authorization to submit a draft 6 cycle of the housing element. Health has 2 items on some HIV program agreement and a fiscal year 24-25 maternal, child, and adolescent health funding agreement application. Human Resources has the prosecutor's memorandum of understanding coming forward, and HSA has an amendment to an agreement for Champions Recovery. So we do have a busy meeting to the 27th. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Are we going to closed session today? Okay. This meeting will go to closed session as outlined, and we'll adjourn, and we'll be back here for a Mid-King GSA meeting at 2 p.m. today, and then we'll also be in here next Monday at 9 a.m. as well as next Tuesday. We are adjourned. Thank you.